Peace, family. I heard about the Tennessee 3, they call them, but in actuality, it was Tennessee 2. The two senators, the black guys that they voted out, these were the main focus of the anger of the Republicans. All three of them was participating in protesting, trying to get Congress to do what it's supposed to do, safeguard the will of the people and protect the children. In response to protesting with the victims and some of the family members of those who were slain in the school shooting a couple of weeks ago. School shootings has been a plague in this country for a long time. They've had more mass shootings than they have days in the year. And you see zero legislation, zero laws that's been changed to address this issue. But when these three senators protested along with the family of those who were slain and those who are worried about their children, now these Republicans do something that's unprecedented or hasn't been done in 84 years and actually vote a person out of office, a person that was duly elected by its people. So it goes to show there's nothing, no matter what somebody gives you, especially when you talk about race in this country, no matter what these white people give you, they got some way to take it back. This is why I always say freedom cannot be packaged and gifted to you. You've got to obtain it yourselves by taking the necessary steps. For you to act this boldly towards people protesting, trying to get you to do your job, and then you turn around and do absolutely nothing to address the issue that they was talking about in the first place. I don't even see how did you stop at these two? You should have threw all these mother efforts out of office then, because ain't none of you doing your job. And the sad part is, one of the guys that voted to get these two black guys out of there a couple of weeks ago, he wanted to introduce lynching as a form of punishment in 2023. He wanted to introduce lynching. It just took you 90 years to pass an anti-lynching law. It ain't been 90 days later, and now this guy want to bring it back. It's like I go to show you, these white people have not changed from 1619 to 2023. They have not changed a bit. There's a little bit of slave mass in each and every one of them. And it also goes to prove that from the 150-something years since slavery so-called was abolished, we've moved from slaves to servants. That's as far as we progressed. When you have a senator today reintroduce, how do you even do that? First of all, you have over a mass shooting a day, and you can't come up with no new ideas how to address this thing. But for somehow you figure you can come up with an idea and reintroduce lynching. How do you do that? Do you have lynching for a misdemeanor? What do? Hang them just a little bit? Burn a foot? Do you still have a crowd gather around with the white children sitting around with glee on their faces as you terrorize this black guy? You throw a rope over a branch and bring it about his neck. How high do you get him off the ground, depending between a misdemeanor and a felony? Do you still cut slivers of flesh off of him, take his genitals and penis off of him? And if he commit a heinous enough crime, do you still cannibalize him? Put pieces of him up on your mantle so your friends and family can know you were there? And these are the people that's still sitting up there serving while you vote these black guys out, and you still got people with this type of mentality still serving? How is this possible? And it's sad. These brothers went up in Washington actually to do the will of the people. They was not up there to show their pretty faces. They went up there to actually do their job. Step outside of the boundaries of symbolism. We're not here just to be present and march to their tunes. We're here to safeguard the people. and they're up there by themselves. They're being talked to in such a condescending way. It's like the children. Like I said, and they represent themselves so eloquently, a little bit too eloquently for my taste, because I'm only gonna put up with so much of this nonsense. I'm gonna try to be nice, and I'm gonna try to be nice. It's gonna take an effort for me to be nice. But when I don't see my kindness reciprocated, then it's gonna be a real problem. And the fact of the matter is this: I am so sick and tired of our people being subject to the eddies, the currents and flows, the whims of whites. We are just in straight reactionary mode. When they couldn't produce enough baby food, that left the most vulnerable, the most precious part of our community vulnerable, threatened. We couldn't even feed our own babies. Everybody trying to run around, trying to come up with some old recipes to feed our children. When they disrespect you economically, now you can't pay. They pay you slave wages. You can't provide for your family properly. You can't hardly afford the rent. It affects everything you do economically. And now here you got our brothers up here politically on an island by themselves. We don't have no political force to help that's going to help them, shield them, protect them. And they're actually up there trying to do the right thing. And now here you got Clarence Thomas. For over 20 years, this guy been receiving lavish gifts and all this stuff from this billionaire Republican. And he's sitting on the court, going to parties, jet setting, passing laws to benefit him and his friends. Donald Trump indicted 34 felonies. And according to MSNBC, he committed all 34 of these felonies while he's in office. I don't see what the mentality of black people is to try to vote and put somebody in office in this cesspool in the first place. The only way we're going to protect our way of life and get the governing body that's worthy to serve over us is to create it ourselves. I can snatch 12 baboons out of any jungle and be a better Supreme Court than this. I could snatch any kind of animal out of any livestock to be better president than what these people have presented the last 247 years. We've got to become brothers and sisters and decide on our society, decide on our economics, decide on our politics, our businesses and industries. There's 50 million blacks in this country and billions of us more around the world. We could be the largest family, black private family owned and operated businesses and industries, institutions they've ever seen. Why are we leaving all of this economic potential, social order in the hands of people who are fumbling the ball since they was never worthy to be in this position in the first place? And you can see, just look at them. Each branch of this system is just as corrupt as the next. You think the branch you standing on is rotten, try jumping to the next one. It's just as rotten. We've got to create our own system, people. And none of these so-called white enlightened people that speak on behalf of blacks is ever going to recommend this to you. But like I say, every last one of them got a little bit of a slave master in them. And they want you to stay without your language, without your culture, without your name, without your heritage and traditions, your unity. They want to keep you just like you are. But I'm here to see that never happened. I'm going to end this video here. And if you like this video, and if you like this content, and if you like this pressure that I put on our oppressor, put a little pressure on that follow, subscribe button, and catch me in my next video. Ashe.